Hey everybody, Bruce here with a short video that's just gonna show you the different ways you can interact with Python on your computer. First, I'll take a look at Microsoft Windows and then I'll head on over to the Mac. So on Windows 10, if you go to the search bar here and you type in Python just like that, you'll see that it comes up with Python 3964-bit. On mine, it may be a little bit different on yours, but when I click on that, it brings up an interactive Python window. And let me just tell you that while you can type things in here like 3 plus 4 and enter, we're not going to be using this in the class. I just want to point it out. So the other thing that you can do is use something called idle, I-D-L-E. And again, I type that in, and if you click here, it will bring up idle. Kind of the same type of thing that you saw before in just a few seconds ago. But there's also the ability here to create like a new file, kind of like a very primitive Visual Studio Code. And if I type in here print hello world, just like that, and I save it. Let me just put it on my desktop. I'll just call it hello.py. Py is the extension for Python files. And then if I click on run module, you can see right there it prints out hello world. This is something we used to use back when I used to teach Python years ago, but again, we're not using idle, we're not using the interactive Python shell that I showed you before. We are going to be using Visual Studio Code. So if I launch Visual Studio Code, there is something inside of Visual Studio Code called REPL, read, execute, print, loop. And if you bring up the command palette, Control-Shift-P for the PC, Command-Shift-P on a Mac, and you type in REPL, just like that, it comes up and says Start REPL. And this is an interactive environment kind of that you can do in Python. Again, 3 plus 4, enter, is 7. So you're going to be using REPL once in a while if you just need to execute one statement of Python to check something out really quick. But for the majority of your work, if not almost all, you're going to be creating new files and running the code in those files. But again, I just wanted you to be aware, at least in Windows right now, of all the different ways that you can interact with Python. But again, we want to do it through Visual Studio Code. So heading on over to the Mac, here we go. And if I command spacebar and I type in terminal, just like that, it's going to launch an interactive terminal. And again, if I type Python 3.9, it's a little bit different on the Mac, and I hit enter, you can see again 3 plus 4, right? I get this interactive Python shell. Again, if I type in if I close this window, let me close the terminal, quit the terminal, and I hit command spacebar on the Mac and I type in idle, just like that, idle.app comes up 3.9. And you can see it'll launch right here. It's launching. And it's just like it is on Windows. Again, I can type 3 plus 4. There it is. I can go to the File menu, say New File, and I can type in print hello world, or just like that. I can save it. I'll save it to my desktop folder. Let's go here. And let's overwrite hello.py. Yes, I want to overwrite it, replace it. And again, run module, and there it is, hello. So again, these two things, I just want you to know that they're there. But if I launch Visual Studio Code and I close the existing project that I had, and I say type in here print hello world, just like that, and I save this. I'll save it on my desktop. I'll overwrite this file here, and I'll replace it. And I'll click on this button up here in the upper right. You can see that we have hello world. And the one other thing I neglected to show you here too is on the Mac, to bring up the command palette, Command-Shift-P, and if I type in REPL, REPL, just like that, and I click Start REPL, again, you can get an interactive Python interpreter right inside of Visual Studio Code. Now, I use the REPL environment when I'm maybe taking a quiz and there's one statement and I need to have it evaluated. So that's why I'm showing you this REPL thing. But again, for the most part, almost all the work that you're going to do is going to be using the Visual Studio Code editor on Windows and Mac. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, please let me know. Have a great day.